Before we actually started riding to John O'Groats, we obviously had to travel to Penzance from the London area, and the shot showed us arriving in Penzance. We stayed at a small bed and breakfast quite near to Land's End, and the night before we had a couple of drinks at the pub and went to Cicerone Cove. Going along that gritty track, we emerge into Cicerone Cove, which is where Matt and I came last night after having a few pints at the pub. So we are in Penzance again. We were here yesterday when we got the train down. It's Sunday, so things are pretty quiet at the moment. You can see St Michael's Mount over there, I believe.
This would not be good with a
Okay, so we're just going through Marathon, which is where you come to if you wanted to go see St Michael's Mount. The telltale sign of a tin mine, and we see many of those dotted around the landscape. So this is the chain ferry. Hello. There's no place to get a bite to eat, unfortunately. Oh, I see. Right. Here comes the ferry. And it's down onto the chain ferry.
So we're now crossing the River Fowl to go heading east. So this is the only way to do it really, otherwise it would have been a very, very long detour. So this is the Fowl estuary. Got our bikes. We're the only two bikes on the ferry.
We're in the Roseland pub here, and it's lunchtime. We've got another 40 kilometres to go, but just seemed like a good moment to stop after quite a strenuous climb out of the valley that the ferry's in. That was wonderful. A lot of calories there. We've done nearly 99 kilometres and we've been riding for 6 hours. We just come up a bit of a beast of a hill, and well, what lies beyond, I suppose. Well, we finally made it, but it wasn't without mishap. This pub originates from the 15th century, I understand. Anyway, it's good to be here. It's been a tough day. I mean, those hills, there are many. They're all doable, but it's sort of relentless.
Phil relaxing after his It's like alright, he's happy, he's content, he's tired, but he's got a pint of beer in front of him, which is always good for Phil.
It's morning, and we're enjoying our breakfast. We're the only people down here because it's too early for breakfast to be served from the kitchen. Well, I will say that the road that heads up out of the valley from the Fowey ferry is monumentally steep. Well, I'm afraid disaster has struck. The two pieces, basically unfixable. So right now we've got to come up with a decision to make what to do. Well, we've made some running repairs to the bike. We've turned it into a single speed. We're going to see how that works. And then we're going to head back into Liscard and try and get a bike shop that can make the repair. We are now in JD Weatherspoons in Liscard, and we found a bike shop in Liscard to get it repaired. A very kind man in one of the workshops. It's going to be fine. So we're just going to have coffee here for an hour, maybe a bite to eat, and then we'll head on. It's all fixed.
All right.
This is Liscard Cycles. This guy has been very helpful, helped us out. So awesome. We've just climbed out of that valley over there. That is looking sort of southwestish, I guess. You might even be able to see Dartmoor in the distance. So there we are, River Tamar. We are now in Devon. This is Bryn Tor Church. We're on the Granite Way now. It's going well. We've just had a shandy. So we're outside, well, Oakhampton. We've got about 30 kilometres to go. Time is pressing, and we decided to change Matt's Holotech crank, and it had this spare old wheel which nobody wanted, and they gave it to us. So that has a cassette on the back, and it actually fits his bike. So this is a game changer, really. Yes. Okay, let's go. Ooh, we are still riding. So we've just got 1.3 kilometres to go. We've done 109 so far. Ride time 7 hours. That's probably all boring stats to you, but believe you me, we've lived every second. Made it to the hotel. We're at Union Road Moto Velo. So it's like an Airbnb place. But yeah, darkness fell pretty quickly after the tyre incident. So we made it. breakfast is done. That's the church that kept me awake all night. It actually rings every hour. This is where we came last night. Put the bikes down there. We start this day on a fairly busy road, leaving credit to Bradninch. A lot of traffic around this morning. We just see these industrial buildings in these small towns. Well, we're crossing the M5 here as we head towards Taunton, Wellington. I think a well-earned shandy break. So we're in Bradford upon Tone. We've done about 50 kilometres, but it's such a long day, we've still got quite a long way to go. So we're on the outskirts of Taunton now. So we're at Tesco's in Taunton. Once again, changed the rear tyre because in our rush the brake pads had been eating into the tyre, weren't quite seated properly on the rim. On coming out of Taunton, it's about 2 o'clock. Got a small mechanical issue. Inner tube's gone on that bike, I'm not sure why. Here. That's where the brakes were scraping. Matthew again. Village of Chetzoy in Somerset. Very pretty church. Well, the mist has lifted, and now it's sunny again, apart from back in this direction. Well, we made it to this caravan park. I'm very tired. 125 kilometres. I think we got here at 7:15. We still got here just as the sun was setting. So where are we? Well, it's called Warren's Hotel and Camping Park or something. We're tired. We want a beer. We're a bit daunted by the prospect of doing similar distances over the next few days. Anyway, I'm looking forward to eating, drinking and relaxing and sleeping. So, did we get a fire extinguisher? Hello boys, what are you doing? You've been naughty. Right. To day 4, we're going to go to Worcester, but we need to get breakfast. We're ready to ride, so we're going to drop the key off, and the next step is we're going to ride through Clevedon, and we'll try and get breakfast en route. Goodbye, Warren's Holiday Village. We're heading north towards Avonmouth itself.
That's just steam or water vapour.
Next door, so that's a gas-fired plant, and that is a waste-fired plant. So there's the Bristol Channel. I think that's Flatholme, if I remember rightly. steep home is that speck on the horizon. Anyway, we're going to have these and keep on trucking. I mean, so that is a canal level crossing. Fantastic. Now I've seen everything. I can die happy. Anchored. Now there's also a bike shop which has been handy because Matthew needs inner tubes. Here is the River Severn. Back that way is Bristol Channel. This way is Gloucester. So we have reached the outskirts of Gloucester. We're still in Gloucester. So we shall continue on our way, and somewhere around Tewkesbury I think we'll congratulate ourselves by having something else to eat. Another puncture. This time it was a spoke snagging on the inside of the inner tube, but we rectified that with an empty packet of fruit and nut. We are at the hotel in Worcester. So, I'm not sure what's the time. Yeah, it's 7:15, and that was just big miles, not big hills.
Hard grind.
So it's about 150 kilometres.
Yeah.
Nothing too bad happened on the way, apart from one puncture. And now we can enjoy the delights of Worcester. Oh. It's party time. That guy's been there for about 2 or 3 hours, at least since Matthew and I have been eating our pizza. We've left Worcester, and yeah, we joined the Droitwich Canal. Everything's very quiet here. We've got to get over onto that side of the another milestone. Staffordshire. I've just been looking at this saddle of mine. It's been causing me a few issues recently. Not surprisingly, it's one of searing pain. It's taking a long time to break this in. I mean, virtually no give on that one. Now this is Matthew's.
Phil, stop it.
Yeah, sorry. So,
A very sensitive area.
don't suppose you'll be able to. So we've covered 100 kilometres. Just over that. To the Crown Hotel, Nantwich. The last 10 kilometres were so hard because of the potholes on the road leading to Nantwich. I've never seen a road like it, apart from maybe Congo. And we arrived in Nantwich to find that it's a jazz festival. I don't know how we managed to get a room.
Yeah, real distance challenge again today. really sapping the energy, sapping your mental strength as well. But yeah, made it. The last sort of 20-30 kilometres was hard.
Nantwich. The ornate appointment of the breakfast bar at the Crown Hotel, because they're making a beer delivery which is being sent down into the bowels of the cellar, which goodness knows how old that is, considering this building's leaning to one side and looks crinkly from the outside. I thought I'd better tell you about last night. I mean, basically it was this jazz festival, but it was quite good, really. We were falling asleep to the strains of a fairly realistic rendition of the Stone Roses' greatest hits. And anyway, the band sounded great and the crowd were going crazy. And we were actually fairly disappointed we couldn't take part in it. We just went to sleep. Venetian Marina.
Winsford is a beautiful place, especially its dual carriageway. Just wait for this light to turn and then there we go. Winsford High Street. I believe.
Yeah, much needed break, I think. Just to sort of give us a little bit of mental respite, physical respite. So we just joined the Transpennine Trail at Warrington and we went over Manchester Ship Canal. We're heading down this trail through this post-industrial landscape. Anyway, onwards. I think we're going to go across the Mersey at some point, not too distant future. Terraced houses of Wigan to the place we need to get to. Ramble up the road down there. Another track which is wholly unsuitable for anything other than a mountain bike or a gravel bike, I would say. The day is over. We made it to the B&B in one piece. It was incredibly difficult today. It was muddy. A lot of the paths were muddy tracks, fit for mountain bikes. Often the route was hard to discern and we got lost a few times. Got a bit farcical, clambering up muddy banks and being snagged by branches, and you're kind of thinking, well, I'm cycling to John O'Groats and I don't want to be crawling through undergrowth. We did find our way to Preston, which was kind of the morale sapping part of it for me. Preston is horrible. I mean, I just don't have anything good to say about it. Made it through Preston. And then it was a bit arduous trying to get to this B&B. Matthew's absolutely covered in mud. Our mood is, hampered by this feeling of extreme tiredness, cold and hunger. So I think we definitely need to eat something. We can have a fireside chat with Matthew. Well, both of us, Matthew and I, have just slid over. Ciao! On that diesel there. Straight over. There's deep all the way down that road. A bit more hilly here. I think we've recovered from the shock of coming off on that roundabout. That was not good. No damage done, fortunately, either to bike or person. It's getting more hilly as we head towards... It's not the Pennines, I can't remember what it's called, the Bowland National Park or something. Well, welcome to Cumbria. This is totally missed, unfortunately. Well, having arrived in Cumbria, the camera was way too misted up, so I couldn't really take any usable footage. But we stopped for lunch in Sedbergh, and then we rode through the upland farming areas of the Dales and eventually arrived at Penrith. Welcome to Penrith. The day is Easter Sunday, and I haven't managed to record anything yesterday because the camera lens was misted up. Yesterday went fine. Obviously started badly when we came off our bikes in Garstang, but no injuries, thankfully. And then the day was just one through the Yorkshire Dales, mainly lots of tiny, very steep hills. And then we remained at altitude for some time when the winds were very strong, and just found it very heavy going, actually. So it was sort of physically exhausting. The next thing to worry about here was Storm Dave. It blew over last night, so we weren't really affected by it while we were riding. So we just got to pack up and get going. Those hills, that's Scotland, would you believe? It's Carlisle Castle. Plus the headquarters of BBC Radio Cumbria. Well, we've come out of Carlisle and now we're going to cycle on to Gretna, but it's very windy and cold and changeable out there. 4 seasons in one day. So how do you feel about reaching Scotland?
Good. Yeah, it's been very windy and cold today, but we are more than halfway.
Lake District straight across from the Solway Firth. We've just been coming from that direction, fighting a westerly headwind. Done 61 kilometres, we've got 50-ish to go. Okay, the coup. This is Loch Marben. How are you feeling?
Pretty nice. I'm enjoying my caramel cup.
Everybody, we're enjoying being here in Beatuk and not cycling. Now this has a particular resonance for Matthew and I because we are avid listeners to the famous 45 single Bankers Up Beatuk, which is a single that our dad bought, which is basically a recording of steam trains going up hills. And here we are. The wind was the killer today. Every day has a challenge, but the wind was the challenge today. We were cycling on the Solway Firth into a westerly for ages. I had a few saddle issues as well. My saddle was so uncomfortable. This is the pub we stayed at. It's quite cold this morning, so let's just get on the road. We're still going down this road. I think we've got a little bit of climbing to do, and then a lot of it is descent. So we just come all the way from over there, and that looks very downhill to me, so good news there. And in the very far distance, I think you can see the Highlands. How are you feeling?
Alright, it was a bit tough actually, that last time.
Well, this is nice. Hey! So, here we are, South Queensbury. We're just wandering around. Matt's bought some licorice comforts.
Performance enhancing licorice comforts.
I haven't eaten one of these for about 30 years.
But I've reawakened the desire, haven't I?
Yeah. And I'm beginning to appreciate them all over again. But what we've discovered about this town is that it's a very pretty place. Very Victorian, as you can see, with some rather insensitive additions, but mainly nice. Now, the hotel we're in is that one. Crikey, actually I'm wrong about that. I can't work out which one it is. But anyway, the guy who's running it, he is the nicest bloke. He's cleaned our bikes for us with his hose. He owns the place, had a chat with us, and then he said, go indoors, get yourself a beer, it's on me. Well, we didn't know what to say, so he said okay. That was much appreciated, and now the guy, he's wanting us to have some snacks as well, but we had to decline because it would eat away at our conscience. The only thing they did do that was wrong was give us a room with a double bed in it. We're feeling pretty good, aren't we?
That way. Range math refinery.
Okay. Well, on that bombshell, I think I'm going to end this.
So we are in the noisy atmosphere of the Old Ferry Tavern in South Queensbury, and we just bought some beers. We're not actually convinced that they are in good condition, but it tastes okay. This is a very busy pub. It's one of the only pubs in South Queensbury where you can actually get cask beer. So yeah. Anyway, feeling okay, feeling good after our ride, and we're looking forward to something to eat.
Look at what we're doing. We're working our way through the book. And this is today. I can open it up. That's the profile. So we've got a big climb in the morning to the Cleach Hills. So number 10 is there. This looks incredibly luxurious for cyclists. Probably got one of the world's most expensive bridges, and it's only cyclists and buses. But here we go. Cross the Firth of Forth. We were down there in a hotel. Firth of Forth is a greedy place to have 3 bridges, is the word. believe that's Kinross down in the valley, and I think that's Lake Kinross. Matthew's cycling back because he's worried there's something that's happened, but there isn't. I just decided to stop and take a picture because it's such a nice view. You're going the wrong way. I just thought I'd take a picture. Sorry about that. Well, here we are in Perth, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day. We've just cycled along the river, and we stopped at J.M. Richard's Cycle Repairs, hoping to get Matthew a new tyre. Everything is going very well. We're more than halfway. So I think we'll probably have something to eat, maybe a cup of coffee, and enjoy being in Perth. You know, it's a pleasant place, actually. On the Tay, apparently. Come from that direction, and this is the Tay Valley. And Pitlochry is somewhere down there. It's been rather challenging as we've been approaching Pitlochry. This is how the path should look, but further back there it's just strewn with mud and branches of conifer trees and traffic cones. I don't know what they're doing, but we have arrived in Pitlochry. This is the main road through it, the high street, I suppose. And we're just trying to find the hotel. A lot of hills as we approached. Tired legs didn't appreciate that. Neither did my sore backside. This is our guest house, bed and breakfast, hotel, whatever you would like to call it. It's one of these dull Victorian granite buildings. Need to find the entrance. It would be crazy to believe it was right at the front of the building, wouldn't it? It's funny how we always assume it's actually at the back these days. But you're a backdoor man, aren't you? Welcome to day 11 of the La Jog, where today we will be skirting around the Cairngorms. As you can see, there's some light cloud, bit of sun poking through, and I think today it's actually going to be fairly warm. So we're going to go down to that road there and in that direction. We've just been riding down that road alongside a railway track and a river and the A9. What's the name of the summit we're going up? The Dalwhinnie or something?
Oh, we're going to Dalwhinnie Distillery.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. Well, it's like 20 miles of climbing and then it's gentle descent as we sort of go northwest to north to northeast around the Cairngorms. Yeah, so we've done 23.2 kilometres today. 1 hour and 20 in the saddle, and we're heading into the Cairngorms, as you can see. Okay, I think we're nearing the top of this ascent in the Cairngorms. It's very bleak up here. It's pretty cold. I'm looking forward to getting over the pass and down. In fact, it's sunny over there. Let's go and find out what it looks like in more detail.
You've broken through the fourth wall.
One leads to another. Can't smell anything happening. Oh, bit of sunshine. Oh yes. Did it last year. I looked after his chainsaw shop. Is that your next thing? Yeah, thanks. Oh, thank you. Continue on our way. We've just been through Newton Moor after a bite to eat at a cafe, and we're on our way to a place called Kingussie, which I think would be that settlement in the distance. And here's the River Spey. Kingussie, and we've got Ruthven Barracks. So we're heading over there. Is that clear? He's heading uphill. High Range Lodge Hotel. You didn't do too badly, but there were one or two disappointments. I just think you can do better. Aviemore, and the name of this place is the something High Range Hotel. It's a big motel. They've got chalets, they've got parking for caravans. We're going to have a lot of fun in that bed later. Got the old flat screen ready to go. We're happy to see we've got a Corby trouser press. Okay, for the bathroom fetishists, this is what we've got going on in here. There's a toilet.
Towel rail.
Towel rail, we're going to have to work out how to use that.
Not sure.
Basin's a bit small. But anyway, it was a short day today. It was cold going through the Cairngorms. It's just easy, really. It wasn't a hard day at all.
No.
So tomorrow off to Alness via Inverness. Get some breakfast. Okay. Well, this is our delicious breakfast. to get us going for Alness. But it is raining. Aiming to get to Inverness, which is this direction, due north. Hello. We are currently at Balnwaren of Clava, an ancient Bronze Age burial ground, destroyed by the Victorians. That is the Great Glen Fault. We have arrived in Inverness. City of Culture. Krispy Kreme, Cafe Nero, you could be anywhere. Mountain Warehouse. So let's try it down by the seafront, see if we can get fish and chips down there. Okay, we've made it to Inverness, to Johnny Fox's Den, Irish pub.
Huh?
You have your ease yourself.
I have eased myself, yeah.
Anyway, listen, the bikes are out there. That's Passan Dunrin, out there in Inverness. So we're going to have a bit of lunch and get on our way to Alness. Hey.
So we're just crossing the bridge over.
Disgusting. Defibrillators awaiting use. Station hotel. Eat, sleep, drink. Not necessarily in that order. Yeah. We have arrived in Alness at the station hotel. The hotel's old. It's okay. It's got a bed. It was quite tiring, I guess. Not helped by the weather. Got a bit rainy around Inverness. Lovely descent down to Inverness, actually. That was quite good. At Inverness, we had something to eat, recharged, and then headed into the rain. That just made it a bit more difficult. I think we're both quite tired. I am, anyway. Got to the hotel, finally. And, yeah, I mean, it was just a bit of a crappy check-in procedure, but we did it. So this is the morning ritual. We just oiled the chains, and it's a beautiful day here in Alness, and we are cycling to Tongue today. So this is day 13 of the trip, and it's going to be very interesting going through the wilds of northern Scotland. So this is the site of Alness waking up. Delivery is being made. I better get this bike ready. Well, this is Dornoch Firth viewpoint, and it's a beautiful view out over the North Sea. So this is Lerg. I don't know where Matthew's gone. But there's a cafe over there. I think we'll try for that. The Pier Cafe. Anyway, we're in Leg, and we're going to have coffee and probably some cake. Yes, please. Hello. He hasn't seen anybody for days. So the Kraski Inn is run by two people from the east coast of the United States, and they have about 4 kids, and this is their 3rd season. So very brave of them to come here and run this place. But winter they can be snowed in, but they've got a big tank of propane, quite a lot of whiskey, probably a lot of frozen meat as well. photograph. Thank you. Slow, behind, slow. 1, 2, 3, pulling on your... Oh! Atlantic! Oh! Yeah, we've got 3 kilometres left. And this is the first we've seen of green stuff. Which explains why Tongue is where it is, because as you approach it, you kind of think, well, what on earth could you live on here? There's nowhere to grow anything. But here it is. Hi. We've got a room here tonight. I don't suppose you're the person to talk to about that, I wonder. Yeah. Booked it a couple of nights ago, I think. So. No, that's not a bad view, is it? Well, these are our quarters for the night. The Ben... What was it? The Ben Logan Hotel or something. It's their first day of reopening since they closed for the winter. These must be their glamping cabins. If you fancy coming here, just stay in a glamping cabin. This is perfect. So the Atlantic's over there. I think we caught sight of it as we approached. And it looks like quite a fertile valley. Anyway, we're going to go to the room. So here's the room at the Ben Loyal Hotel, Tongue. There's Matthew. And here's our bathroom. There we go. I can't leave the last shot on the bath, the toilet. There. Well, this is the scene that greets us this morning at breakfast. I've just demolished another full Scottish breakfast. So we're looking... it was raining quite heavily earlier, but I think it's going to be a bit more like this for the remainder of the day. What we're going to do is ride to John O'Groats, and then our accommodation is at the Seaview Hotel, which is very close to John O'Groats. But it's probably going to be okay, and it means we don't have to cycle back to Thurso. So then we'll stay there overnight and then ride back to Thurso and catch the train. We might need to practice our arrival routine at John O'Groats. Yeah. Conditions are windy, and we've got a different perspective on these moorlands. Climbing up the hill in the wind is hard. But it's incredibly blustery. That's pointing the camera roughly into the wind. Right, welcome everybody.
Welcome to John O'Groats.
To the Land's End John O'Groats Plaza, just so that you can see, to prove to you, it says up there, it's John O'Groats, we made it, okay, peace out. Okay, we're just downloading now. In all honesty, I hated today. I hated most of it, apart from the last 2 minutes where we went downhill to this place. The wind has been so hard. I just found it really hard. However, another good thing is that our hotel, the Seaview Hotel, is literally at the junction down the road where we turned left. So that's good news. I'm going to let it sink in. We'll have a proper chat later on, I think. So here we are at the Seaview Hotel. We're just about to turn in. We did a bit of a review of what we did, and to be honest with you, memories just blend into one. I suppose we entered this challenge with some sort of deliberate ignorance of what was to come. You know, England was just a lot of built-up areas and canals and closely spaced towns. And then you get to Scotland, it's just like emptiness from one place to the next, especially as you get to the far north of Scotland. And you've just got to be lucky there with the weather, I think. You know, today was a reminder of that. Riding into a headwind all day was just, I have to confess, I just did not enjoy today. But, you know, if the weather had been fine, no wind, it would have been great, but it wasn't. So we made it, and we're very satisfied with that. And all we've got to do now is cycle back to Thurso and catch a train back to London. So with that, I shall now say goodbye.